You are now tuned in to Go Time Dolphins with Charlie Touche and Kadeem Simmons, the Miami Dolphins podcast that's for the fans and by the fans.
Gotta make them lose their mind when it's your time. And it's show time. Going all out when it's go time. I ain't wasting no time. Gotta make them lose their mind when it's show time. Cause it's your time. Lay it on the line when it's go time. Don't waste no time.
It's Wednesday. That can only mean one thing. It's a brand new episode of
Dolphins.
It's happening every episode. I feel like until someone says stop, I'm gonna have to drop the every single episode. Shout out to our new friends of the podcast. Not so much new, but our latest friends of the podcast, Bradley Chubb and Emmanuel Ogba. Shout out to the people that are with us in the live. Shout out to Jason Keck. He says fins up. Shout out to the great Fins fan. He says yo. And obviously shout out to yourself, Charlie Touche. How are you?
It's Go Time Dolphins, the Miami Dolphins podcast that goes not only across the pond, but across the world. I'm your boy, Charlie Touche. Got my co-host, Kadeem Simmons, with me. It's always for the fans and by the fans. Your favorite podcast. Kadeem, hump day. No, man, I had to get that hump day in, man. But yeah, shout out to Emmanuel Ogba and Bradley Chubb, new friends of the podcast. I didn't know you got to act like you've been there before, Kadeem. Like I didn't know you're gonna play it out like this, bro.
And at that point, I'll now stop. Like I just think it's cool. Like it's people hopping the stream for the first time. It's like, hey, two Dolphin players are saying Go Time Dolphins. Like is what it is.
You know what? Should try to get another one. See what happens. Yeah. Shout out to Jason Keck showing up right on time for the Jalen Phillips injury. Is that a coincidence? You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. Like, spare us a little bit, Jason Keck. Don't give it to us right now, bro. We're mourning right now. Did you catch Hard Knocks, Kadeem?
Not yet, no. Us in the UK are still trying to find the stream. Listen, again, you're in the chats where until Lee gets it and finds it for everyone else, it's a struggle. It's a real struggle. But I think it's fine to say that what can Hard Knocks really spoil, given that we all we saw the East Hartford Paper Planes game, and there's enough clips going around on social media that by now you've kind of seen the best bits, I guess. Speaking about the best bits, make sure you share, like, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. Got some awesome videos out there at the moment. And also, if you're feeling generous, especially now it's kind of like Christmas time, and you're kind of wondering what to get a fellow Dolphins fan, or your family wondering what to get you, how about a subscription to Patreon.com/Go Time Dolphins, where there's a whole bunch of stuff you can get, including exclusive Go Time Dolphins content. Just myself and Charlie talking about the rest of the NFL, going in a bit more depth on certain stuff. So, yeah, shout out to the. I was gonna say your bit, Charlie, but that'd be rude of me, so I apologize.
Shout out to all the patrons, man. Not only that, we about to get some merch coming. I know we've been talking about it. I so bad wanted to be available for Christmas, but it sounds like it's going to be available for the first of the year and in the playoffs. So we'll bring it in with Go Time Dolphins merch for the playoffs. But hey, let's get to it, Kadeem. It's hump day. It's Wednesday. And I got my phone hit up. You know what I'm saying? When during the Paper Planes game, Sherrod Steve, in all caps, yelled at me through a text message, and that's how I read the text. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, and I don't know what you had planned, but I'm gonna just jump right into it, Kadeem. Once upon a time on this podcast, maybe four times upon a time. Fourth upon a times. How you say that?
You don't. Once upon a time.
No. So hold on. Let's figure this out. Once upon a time, twice
They
upon a
stop
time.
right there. It's literally once upon a time. There's nothing else after that. There's no twice upon a time. There's no trio upon a time. It's like I don't know what kind of, I guess, fairy tales you have in the United States, but I've never heard a fairy tale that goes 4 times a time or 4 times upon a time. It's like, no, it's just once upon a time.
But there was a poet, one of the best poets ever, named Andre 3000, that said, twice upon a time, there was a boy who died, live happily ever after, but that's another chapter. I'm just saying, one of the best poets ever. But listen, man, listen, maybe 3, 4, 5 times on this podcast, we said, would you rather have the offense on the field down 4 with 2 minutes left and no timeouts, or would you rather have the defense game on the line? You know, this is it. Fourth quarter, 2 minutes left. You're down 4. You need a touchdown. Would you rather have the offense on the field, or would you rather have the defense on the field with, let's just call it 3 minutes left, and you're up 3? You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Hannah Montana, Evelyn Lads. So I guess she's not in Mexico no more because she didn't say hola.
No, but as I keep on saying to you, and now she's watching as well, Charlie, I need those names.
Listen, bro. Listen. Bro, I tried, bro. I really did try. Listen, man. So back to the podcast. Kadeem, Sherrod Steve said, yo, the defense has passed the offense now. The defense is carrying this team. When once upon a time, the offense was the reason why everybody was why the Dolphins were must-see TV. Has the defense surpassed the offense, Kadeem?
So Jason Keck says depends on who they're playing. Jason, I would love for you to expand on that in the comments. Other people get involved in the chat. Charlie can read this. Hannah says, Charlie, I need those names. So listen, I'm passing the buck like to her now. I'm just saying.
It got really real when Hannah said it. I ain't gonna lie. Like when you said it's like, all right. You know what I'm saying? But when Hannah says like, dang, all right, I'm gonna do it. We work.
I think what's interesting is that prior to this season, I think the Dolphins were a more defensive team, especially under Brian Flores. It was defense are going to win games. All offense has to do is not do anything stupid. Last year, it was still kind of like a defense-led team, but as the season progressed, it was like, yo, this Dolphin offense is getting a bit freaky, especially even though like Tuba's starting to find his own element and Mike McDaniel calling plays and all that kind of stuff. So this season starts, and I will get to the question. This season starts, and it's like, okay, this is an offense-led team. All the defense has to do is not give up. I think we said the magic number was 17 points. And it's like the number's been like 17 points in the past, but it was like, this offense is going to score 30 points a game. Easy. So the defense just doesn't have to wet the bed. And what's happened over the past few weeks, especially since the bye, this is a team that is, I guess, grinding out games due to the stellar play by the defense. Obviously, the Raiders game is the prime example. But I guess to answer your question, I think it's quite obvious right now. I think regardless of any situation, you'd rather be up and have the defense on the field to essentially close the game out, if that makes sense.
I mean, I forgot how we really worded it, but I think it was like there's a caveat. Obviously, we needed a touchdown, but the defense was on the field, and we were like only up 1. That's exactly what it was. The defense on the field with 3 minutes left, and we're only up 1 or 2. That way, a field goal can win the game. You see what I'm saying? So obviously, there's some balance. Yes, you're up, but they only need a field goal. So do you trust your defense to get this stop, or would you rather have the offense on the field down for 2 minutes left? Matter of fact, we can give them all the timeouts. Now it's getting like a real debate.
So then, I guess for a balance, what about both sides of the ball are down too? to both. So the defense needs to stop the other team from getting to field goal range, and the offense needs to get into field goal range. Because then that way it's kind of like, I think that's somewhat fair and an even playing field, as opposed to the defense needs to stop the offense or the opposition offense being down two, but the Dolphins need to drive down the field and score a touchdown.
I don't know that that's balanced though, because if the defense is down and we're on the field, clearly, like, we have to get the ball back.
No, so I meant in terms of, so you said the Dolphins defense. So the Dolphins are up by 2, and the defense are on the field. Yeah.
Yes.
And I'm saying for the offensive side of the ball, the Dolphins are down 2, and the offense are going to get the ball. So all the offense has to do is get to field goal range.
Matter of fact, I think that might have been it. I think now that we're talking about this, I think it's the Dolphins are down 4.
I think that was it as well. Yeah.
And we need a touchdown. So now we need a touchdown to score, and then the defense are preventing a field goal. But y'all, that's here nor there. Y'all hear the conundrum. And I don't know if you answered the question to Kadeem. Did you? Has the defense passed the offense?
I think so. Yeah. I think right now. So I know in the past you've said just put the defense on the field because the Dolphins are winning, and essentially that's all that's really important. If the defense is on the field and the Dolphins are winning, like, so I personally think that that's been your argument in the past, as opposed to being that, like, you always want to end the game, or you always want to be like in the best. I'll get this right. You always want to be in the best position to win, and that's being up, regardless of who's on the field. If that makes sense.
So yeah, that wasn't my take before. My take was I wanted the offense on the field.
Okay, that's cool, fair enough.
Because I trusted Tua, because, like, you know, he was safe with the ball. I trust him to be methodical. Now I super trust him, but we're not going to get into my answer yet. But go ahead.
Yeah, but so I think for me right now, yeah, I trust. That's him enough. I trust this defense, be it not anywhere on the field, but if the opposition are starting on the 25. Or, you know, they're on 25. I trust this team to not even let them pass the 50. The way this, obviously, we're playing the East off of Fed paper planes, then it is what it is. But I think the way this Dolphins defense over the past few weeks, and you can't overlook the arrival of Jalen Ramsey. Like, I just think any team, in my opinion, would struggle to move. Would get 2 or 3 first downs the way this defense is playing. Before we get to you, Jason Keck says, don't overlook their offensive line and players playing that position and second and third stringers playing to some of the offensive struggles. I think that has a huge effect on the fluidity of that offense. Charlie, do you agree?
I got a question for Jason Keck. Shout out to Jason Keck. My dog, he my boy, you know what I'm saying? Like, for some reason, once upon a time, twice upon a time, 3 times upon a time. Like, once upon a time, he thought, like, I wasn't feeling him or something. Like, yo, me and Jason, we cool. But I do got a question for Jason. The defense is balling. There's no doubt about that. Defense is super balling. And for everyone who says, oh, well, we need Chubb to show up, or we need this person to show up, we need that person to show up. If the defense is balling so well, does the individual, the want for individual stats go? Can it be put on the back burner because of how well the defense is playing as a unit? That's my question to Jason K. Because I always thought Phillips was good enough. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Jason. He didn't. I don't know what he thinks now, but at the same time, I'm like, if the unit is performing, why do we need individual stats? You know what I'm saying? Why do we need Bradley Chubb to break the sack record if everybody else is getting sacks because of Bradley Chubb? You know what I'm saying? So that's just a question for Jason. If you could respond in the comments, let us know. About the other question, yeah, man, the offense, once again, Teron Armstead is out now. With a quad, is it, Kadeem?
But it sounds like he's playing this weekend. It's a really weird situation where he.
But is it weird, Kadeem? But is it really weird?
So like at the start of the week, the Dolphins are like, he's out indefinitely. Don't know when he's going to come back. And then I can't remember who tweeted it, and I will double check this. Someone was like, someone tweeted they thought that Teron Armstead came into the game against the East African Paper Planes with the quad injury because he wasn't himself. And Armstead replied saying, "Yeah, you're right. I was injured going into the game. That's not a surprise." But he was like, he'll do everything. He'll be available for this weekend. I'll get what he said exactly because I don't want to have someone say, "Hey, Armstead's playing. I'm going to bet my house that the Dolphins win by 30," and then they come to me. Like, I don't need that in my life right now. But yeah, it's no surprise that Armstead was or is injured, and I can't even spell right now. So apologies for keep going.
All right. So to my question about has the defense passed the offense? I appreciate the defense showing up late to the party because we were like, "Yo, what's up? Where's this Vic Fangio defense at?" Y'all remember that a couple weeks ago? We were still talking about that. Like, where's the defense at? When is this Vic Fangio defense gonna arrive? I appreciate them showing up late to the party. Tardy for the party. Cool. But no, they have not passed the offense, bro. Like, listen, we do not have the Peyton Manning Indianapolis Colts. We're not that yet. The Indianapolis Colts with Peyton Manning at the helm were the most feared team in the NFL. Although they only won one Super Bowl, nobody wanted to play them. Everybody understood they were a juggernaut. Like, man, this is a problem. Why we got to play these boys? They're going to put up points. Peyton Manning's going to bust us in the mouth. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're not that because we don't know how to be dominant on offense. We just don't. We play down the competition. We don't put our foot on people's necks. We don't say, "Hey," although we did it to Denver, we don't come out and put 50 on people at will. Yes, we've averaged like over 30 points a game or something like that. Is it over 25? It's something. So yeah, all right, we scoring, but the performances are not dominant. Am I tripping, Kadeem? They're not dominant, right? Like we get the points. Yeah, offensive side. Like we'll get points, but it's still like, yeah, we got 30 points, but it wasn't like a dominant performance. You know what I'm saying? So my thing is, and it is not helping my case, but what I wanted to say is we're not a juggernaut on offense. But I think when we want to, we could just put up whatever we want to do. I think we could do it at will. I think we can. I think we could do it at will. I think we get bored, and that's part of our problem. Like, we just get bored. Bro, shout out to some of the best MMA fighters, in my opinion, and Anderson Silva, John Jones without the juice, Habib Nurmagomedov. These boys, they're so good. They'll fight in the middle of an octagon and then get bored and start trying new stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, we're just bored. Like, I've done it all. I'm undefeated. You know what I'm saying? And then Anderson Silva got knocked out. But you know what I'm saying? That's what happens. So, and that's what I see the Miami Dolphins as. We get bored. We don't have to. We're gonna win this game. We don't have to do this. We don't have to do that. We're gonna win anyway. And I don't want that. I want dominance. But I'm not one of those Twitter heads that are like, oh, we didn't do good enough. We gotta play better. I'm not that. But I do think we can score at will. I do think when we get into that stretch with the Dallas, Baltimore, and Buffalo, we're gonna see it's gonna be, oh, this is playoff time.
So bear me 2 seconds. So the Teron Armstead thing, I want to get that kind of over and done with. It was shock horror. Omar Kelly tweeted that, yeah, he thought that Armstead went into game injured. And Armstead says, Armstead replied saying, yeah, I will put the work in and be better out there for my team this weekend. So Armstead is tweeting like he's playing this weekend. That, take that as you will. The Dolphins might say, you know what? It's only the Commanders. We're good. We don't need you. Rest up. We've got some big games coming up over the next few weeks. So we shall see. Shout out to Jason Keck again for the response to your question. To your response, sorry. He says, I get what you're saying, and I agree with you. When I had a problem with Phillips, the defense wasn't playing well, so I guess I was looking for someone to step up and be that star. which is a valid point. IMAX says, damn, I didn't get that notification. It's happened to a few people in the past. We don't know why it happened, but we are glad you are with us right now. Yeah, I think, especially with the defense, and yeah, for the first few weeks, we were saying, yo, where's this Vic Fangio defense? Doesn't, this isn't what we were promised. But I also think you've literally seen how, in the nicest way possible, not having Eli Apple out there and having Jalen Ramsey makes a massive difference. And I also think it just took a few weeks for the team to kind of gel and get into rhythm. Like Christian Wilkins admitted that probably him missing time during the off season meant he started the season a bit slow. And I think if you look at the Dolphins defense or the Dolphins results over the past few weeks, gave up 16 points, or even going back the past few weeks, gave up 16 points to the Giants. To the Giants, it don't really mean much, but 16 points is great. 21 points to the Panthers, not so good. We all know we lost to the Eagles, 31 points, but then 17 points to the Pats, 21 points to the Chiefs, and one of those was a pick six or a return six. So that's 17. So that's what 14 points to the Chiefs. 13 points to the Raiders, and I believe there's one touchdown and like the rest field goals, and then 13 points to the each half of Fed paper planes, and again some of that was a pick six as well. So this Dolphins defense over the past few weeks hasn't given up that many points. I'm also trying to find a stat which basically says this Dolphins defense basically leads the league in essentially everything. It's basically turned to a juggernaut. Now, I obviously understand that the offense is still you believe still capable of just scoring at will. I think the last few weeks we haven't seen that, and it's been a bit stop and start. And it really, again, that Raiders game is a prime example. There was no way we should have been going down to the fourth quarter, final play of the drive, trying to keep the Dolphins to the Raiders offense, off the field. I also realized I spelled offense and defense wrong. I brought to the UK
Hey, listen,
version,
man.
not the US version.
Listen, bro. Peek behind the curtain, whatever Kadeem be saying, peek behind the curtain. Kadeem he's kind of in charge of the thumbnails that go out on YouTube. And you can kind of tell that he did this one. Shout out to Lonray, you know what I'm saying, the person who does the graphics for the thumbnails. But you can kind of tell Kadeem had all the influence in the world for this thumbnail, because defense and offense is spelled some crazy way with like C's in it. I'm like, bro, this man is tripping right now.
I apologize. That wasn't me. I'm still trying to find this. It's one of those graphics which I thought I saved. I clearly didn't, and I'll try and find it before the episode.
Why you go ahead and look for your graphic? I got one for you. Shout out to Liam Eichenberg versus the Jets, one of the best D lines in the league. 33 pass blocking snaps, 0 sacks allowed, 0 pressures allowed. Shout out to Liam Eichenberg. Tardy for the party, but we appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? Go fill up your cup. But I got another one, bro. You know what? Maybe I might need you to come back for this one. But here we go. Back to the offense. Tua and Tyreek connect on their 15th pass this season, under 2.5 seconds and over 10 air yards. Most in the NFL. Under 2.5 seconds and over 10 air yards, most in the NFL, 15 times. The next closest quarterback receiver duo only has 10 such completions. Could you guess who the next duo is?
Tua Tagovailoa and Jalen Waddle.
Crazy. Gotta love it. Ding, ding.
It's insane. It's actually insane.
Ding. That's crazy. So the next closest duo is our quarterback still, but with our other receiver. You gotta love that, bro. And that's why I think the Dolphins can show up at will. Like, all right, we're ready. So my problem is, Kadeem, what I need them to do is not play like the way they're playing and just lollygagging and then expect to turn it on against Baltimore. I expect for them to turn it on against Dallas. You know what I'm saying? Like, I need you to, all right, we're gonna turn it on a game or two before we get to the big boys. Like, all right, let's step it up, y'all boys. Let's crank it into high gear. Because I don't want you to turn it on at that game. I need you to turn it on before those 3 games so we can start balling out of control. You found what you're looking for?
I can't, but I have found a tweet from Joe Shad, which doesn't really help any one of our arguments. He says, to be fair, probably answers your argument, but he says from weeks 5 to 12, the Dolphins defense is ranked number 1 in the NFL in total defense and number 1 in fewest yards per play allowed. From weeks 1 to 12, the Dolphins offense is ranked number 1 in the NFL in total offense and number 1 in most yards per play gained. This is balance. Like, it's an argument, like this argument / discussion / whatever we want to call it. Both sides have valid points. Like, I don't think any NFL defense wants to play the Dolphins offense again. Like, we joke about the paper planes. They came into this game one of the better defenses in the league, and we dropped, was it what, 34 on them? 34. Obviously, we had to pick 6 from friend of the podcast, Von Holland. Sorry, who didn't win AFC Defensive Player of the Week. How? Literally how? But anyway.
Houseway.
But yeah, this again, if you're the Commanders, coming into this week, you're probably thinking we can't hold them to under 20 points because this offense is, again, capable of scoring at will, but this defense can hold us to like 10 points. Like, if you're going to this game, or any game, how do you beat Dolphins right now? Because they can drop 30 on you without blinking, and they can just shut down your offense and stop you from even passing, the halfway line in the nicest way possible. I'm not even trying to take any shots. You're probably thinking we need to try and pick off Tua. I'd like, the only way we're going to score points is if Tua does something, if Tua gets bored. That's essentially what you're looking at right now. Like, it's crazy. So, listen, I still think the Dolphins defense, especially since Jalen Ramsey has come back or returned, made his debut, has overtaken the Dolphins offense. But I can't sit here and, argue with my chest. It's just a personal opinion. Also, very quickly, Jason Keck says, this is about Jalen Phillips, I still want him to be the player he was drafted to be and what everyone thinks he is. He's just not living up to it, in his opinion. And that's fair. What I will say is that even though Jalen Phillips missed, 2 to 3 games so far this season due to injury, he is, and I guess was, the Dolphins sack leader with 6.5 sacks, tied with Christian Wilkins. So if he's not, and again, my opinion, if he's not living up to whatever it is, it's impressive to lead this Dolphins defense in sacks and not play every single game. To me, that's impressive. But
and he had that pick. Here's my thing about this offense defense thing. Don't give me this 5-game stretch where they're about to show up and shut everybody down for the next 5 games. And the Dolphins defense is the best in the league. You know what I'm saying? Here's my thing. Baltimore, Dallas, Buffalo. That's why I need a defense to show up at. Because the offense has showed up in games and maybe not have won. And then, you go toe-to-toe with Herbert and Tua. So we've seen the offense show up and have shootouts before. Even prior to this year, we've seen them show up and have shootouts. We haven't seen the defense come in and be like, actually, we did. We've seen the defense do it against KC. We did. We've seen this defense do it against KC. But I need more from I need more consistency from the defense.
I don't know how much more consistent they can be this season, though. Like,
outside of... They didn't start the season like this.
They didn't. Okay, but even if they didn't start the season like this, even if, just going from the amount of points they gave up, 34 against the Chargers, like, that's not great. I will give you that. 17 against the Patriots, that's not horrible, but like, I still believe 17 points like the magic number for this Dolphins defense. Obviously the full cheat against the Bills, unforgivable, but the Dolphins offense put up 20 and we just couldn't get moving at all. 20 points against the Broncos. But then like I said, 16 against the Giants, 21 against the Panthers, 31 against the Eagles, and the offense only put up 17, 17 against the Patriots, 14 against the Chiefs, obviously had a pick 6. And then 13 against the Raiders and 13 against the Paper Planes, and there was a pick 6 as well. Like, I don't know what more you can ask from this defense, like in terms of points allowed. That to me seems pretty impressive. You're on mute.
I said, all right, I'm gonna switch it up a little bit. Not gonna lie to you.
So very quickly, Jason Keck says D did not show up against Buffalo and KC. I disagree because the Dolphins defense shut out the Kansas City Chiefs in the second half. Like, no points out in the second half. Again, what more?
So not only did they shut them out in the second half, they only give up 14 points to KC.
Yeah, like
So-
that's exactly what you asked for.
But here's my thing though. That first drive was a cakewalk, bro. They gave up the first 7 points. It's like, yo, where you at, defense? So hold up, Keck. I feel you, because when we was at the game, Kadeem, I'm like, nah, bro. Now we're like playing catch up. It was 21 zip, wasn't it? Didn't they pass the sticks? We had to pass the sticks. It was 21 zip.
Sorry, it was 21-6 because Tyreek Hill dropped the ball. Like, again, like the Dolphins defense gave up
21
no.
zip, bro. Like Tyreek didn't drop the ball 3 times, bro.
Sorry. If it's not the reason, how many points did the Dolphins defense give up?
It was 21 zip.
How
So
many
it was
points
13
did the-
zip.
how many points did the Dolphins?
It was 13 zip then. If you
Yeah,
want to
so-
do that, it was still 13 zip.
So
You can't score.
That's the pass
Bro.
sticks.
Okay, fair. But you can't come out first drive of the game, and it's looking like me and you are on defense, Kadeem. They walked down the field on us. That KC game, they walked down the field, marched down the field.
One drive.
And then
Opening drive.
okay, and then they gave up another 2 field goals? Is that 2 field
No,
goals?
I
That's
think-
what happened?
No, it was
14. Another touchdown. Another touchdown. It was
Yeah.
another touchdown because I said 14. So yeah, it was another touchdown. So we're still playing from behind though. Like, so it's not just only on the offense. The defense didn't.
But then hold on. So I'm not disagreeing. The Chiefs drove down the field that first play. What did the Dolphins offense do?
But we're talking about the defense right now, Kaneem.
Yes, but I'm saying so yeah, the Dolphins defense wet the bed in the first drive. What did the Dolphins offense do?
Hold up. But
No, hold up. What did the Dolphins offense do that first drive? Or not in that first drive.
The man said
What
the
did the Dolphins
defense
offense do
didn't show
that
up against
first half?
KC. He said the defense didn't show up against KC. We're talking about the defense not showing up against KC. So
Okay.
if
And I
the
said
argument
that
is
first
yes,
drive.
they did, no, they didn't. Like that's the only argument.
Okay. So we'll just focus on the defense, yeah? The defense didn't show up against KC. I disagree because outside of that first drive, they were fine. Travis Kelce done nothing all game. Like, and again, I even think before the game we said if you shut down Travis Kelce but you still lose the game, you've shut down like their playmaker.
Here's my thing. I don't want to say they didn't show up against KC. Jason Keck said they didn't show up against KC. There goes the London double-decker bus. My bad, Jason. But they didn't they weren't dominant. They weren't this dominant defense that they are today. They weren't that against KC is what my point is. You know what I'm saying? That's just my point. And again, look, that's here nor there. Listen, man, we're about to find out. The rubber's going to hit the road. Why do they say rubber's going to hit the road? The rubber's going to hit the road.
Don't know. But what I will say for what you said about the Dolphins defense against Dallas, Baltimore, and Buffalo. Totally fair. Dolphins offense score more than 17 points. I beg you, please.
But you act like the offense never scored more than 17 points, Kadeem.
What did I say before both the Chiefs game and the Eagles game? Score more than 17 points. I think the Eagles, they matched, they scored 17, and then the Chiefs, they scored 14.
Shout out to go ahead, my bad. Shout out to Casual Dolphin. I know it's tires when the rubber hit the road, but the quote had to come from somewhere. Is it like tires fresh off the press when the rubber hits the road? You know what I'm saying? Like there had to be history behind the quote. So I know that we're talking about tires, but I just didn't know where the history was behind it.
Apparently, it comes from the early recording of that. Appears in the Modern American Usage, a guide by Wilson Follett, first published in 1966. So that's what it seems. That's where it came from. Apparently, it's a US thing.
Hey, Kadeem, Aaron Rodgers is paper planes activate Aaron Rodgers just 11 weeks after Achilles surgery, and he is targeting week 16 for return from IR. What you think?
What's the point? Like genuinely, what is the point? Are we going to bring this up an extra point? What is the point? So we can kind of move on. Jason Keck says the D does good against backup quarterbacks. I still disagree, but we can get onto that at some point, like later down the road. He says he can't use the Philly game as an example because the refs really effed us on that one. And then he says, I think the important thing to say for the defense is to head it in the right direction. But let us know what you guys think in the comments. Defense over offense. Ignore my spelling of both words. I apologize. I'm UK. It's not incorrect. It's just different. We'll leave it at that. Aaron Rodgers, week 16. Seriously, dude, what's the point? Like, what are you coming back to do outside of? I don't get me wrong. I want him to come back. I want the paper planes to win those last 2 games and knock themselves out of like a top 10 pick. That'd be. Hold on. They don't even have a top 10 pick, do they? No, as in like they don't have a pick. They traded it for Aaron Rodgers, didn't they?
Oh, I probably. I imagine they did.
Check.
I imagine they did.
2024. Let me double check. I thought they. Nope, they have the. I think they gave up a conditional second. According to the internet, they currently have the 8th pick in the draft. So
This
even
guy said,
better.
according to the internet, not the person
Again
who put it on the internet.
Well, no, like there's multiple websites. There's Gangrene Nation, there's NFL.com, there's the Jet Press. I just said the internet. But yeah, like I want Rodgers to come back, win those last 2 games, and then have them pick like 15th. Like you have nothing to play for. Losing to the Dolphins on Black Friday ended your season. Now you're playing for essentially, a pick. And to be perfectly honest, there's people out there that said the moment Aaron Rodgers went down, you're playing for picks because this team with Zach Wilson is not good enough to win many games. And they've essentially, I guess, ruined their chances of a top 10 pick, which you could have taken a quarterback for. But that's to me, that's the extra point conversation because like I'm not wasting Go Time Dolphins time on the paper planes being stupid.
Yeah, man. Y'all check us out on Patreon. We got the extra point. We talk about everything around the league, and just chop it up for all of our tiers. Y'all can check us out. Shout out to the patrons. You got something? I got a little quick story real quick before we go on the bonus time, unless you got something else.
Well, I was going to talk about what Mike McDaniel said about our short yardage issue, but we can discuss that in bonus time.
So shout out to everyone in Go Time on the Go Time Dolphins Fantasy Football League. The playoffs are upon us. This is the last week of the regular season in the league. Flipper Main Mick is first. CD's Nuts is second. Miami Vendetta is third. Ty Freak Waddle is fourth, and Charlie Touche is fifth. Everyone else is out of playoff contention, so it's up to me and Ty Freak Waddle to battle it out to see who gets to the playoffs. I don't play Ty Freak Waddle, but here's story time, Kadeem. And shout out to everyone who plays fantasy football that can really relate to this story. I'm battling for my fantasy football playoff life, and I make a trade with a team that is also battling for their fantasy football playoff life, but they're in a little more dire straits than I am. So I end up trading multiple starters for Patrick Mahomes and Stephon Diggs. I give up Saquon Barkley, Adam Thielen, Jordan Addison, and Evan Ingram for Diggs and Patrick Mahomes. In one of my leagues, I'm the commissioner of this league. I have another league as well. And in the other league, trades go through immediately. There's no veto. There's no 1 day wait. There's no 2 day wait. There's no review from the commissioner. Trades go through immediately. I've been playing in that league for 9 years. There's a trust in that league that no one is going to jug the system. Like, we're good. You know what I'm saying? You trade at your own risk. You know what I'm saying? So everybody's good in that league. This league, I'm like, you know what? Instead of going with the standard 2-day trade window that you got to wait, I'm going to go ahead and bump it up to you only got to wait 1 day to get your trade, just in case someone does try to finesse the system. And something told me this year, you know what, bro? Man, just go ahead and just trades go through immediately. What's the worst that could happen? But I didn't. I set it up for a day instead of 2 days, right? So I'm like, all right, let's just have this little buffer. Shout out to Miami Samurais, DC Kai Kid. Shout out to DC Kai Kid. He plays in the league. I traded him Mahomes and Diggs. And the thing is, I really needed these two players because I felt like if I had them on my team this week, I would make the playoffs. I'm like, yo, let's get this trade done. We chopped it up. We went back and forth for a couple of days. Get the trade. The trade goes through. Thanksgiving is Thursday. The trade goes through on a Tuesday. And I'm like, oh, yeah, we're good. Or maybe on Wednesday. Can't remember. On Wednesday. And I'm like, all right, we're good. Wake up. I'm ready to put my starting lineup in. And turns out, unfortunately, shout out to DC Kake, rock with you. Could have happened to anyone. Unfortunately, when you're receiving like 4 players, you probably have to drop somebody. So DC Kai Kid dropped someone, but he dropped someone that was playing in Thanksgiving, so the trade didn't go through in time, and we had to wait like 5 days for the trade to process. So I didn't get my players until Tuesday. So the trade didn't go through. So I'm like, yo, this is terrible. I need to win this game so I could make it to the playoffs. So now I'm scrambling on Friday. It's still Thursday. I'm hitting up everybody in the league, asking them for trades. Like, yo, I need a quarterback, right? I dropped Jared Goff, by the way. This is very important. I dropped Jared Goff, and I don't even have a quarterback on my roster because Patrick Mahomes is supposed to be there, right? So now I done filled up all the positions, and I don't even have a quarterback. Patrick Mahomes is not going to come till Tuesday. So now I got to drop someone to go get a quarterback. So I'm like, dang, let me hit up everybody in the league. I'm offering trades for a quarterback and no dice. Sherrod Steve is 6th in the league. 1 spot behind me, just as desperate to get into the playoffs. If he loses this week, he's out, right? So I'm like, yo, Sherrod Steve has Josh Allen and Justin Fields on his team. Sherrod Steve, you got to get into the playoffs, bro. Trade me one of these quarterbacks, and I'll trade you AJ Brown. This is a legit trade. Like, yo, I'll give you AJ Brown, but I need this, and this. Sherrod Steve, like, nope, I'll give you this and this. I'm like, Sherrod Steve, you tripping. We're both not going to make the playoffs if we don't make this trade. You feel me? Like, what are you doing? So it goes 2-3 days, bro. It's like Friday now. Well, I guess 2 days. It's Friday now, and we got to get this trade done. It's Saturday. We're up against the deadline. We got to get this trade done in hours. Like, bro, Sherrod Steve, let's just do the trade, right? If it goes another day, we're not gonna be able to process it in time, and most likely miss the playoffs. When I tell you, Kadeem, I have never, ever found someone as stubborn as myself in fantasy football when it comes to trading than Sherrod Steve, bro. We both lost, Kadeem. Did not do the trade, and now we both out the playoffs. Like, I'm on the cusp. Like, I might make it, but there's no guarantees. And Sherrod Steve is out the playoffs, and it's like we were just one piece away from making this trade happen. I was like, yo, you give me this piece, it's a green light. And he was like, no, this is the trade. And you're not Chris Greer. And you love being a GM. I'm like, bro, like, not right now, Sherrod Steve. And look at us, about to watch the playoffs from home. I just had to share that story, bro, because, yeah, man, it was one of those fantasy football, like, no, bro, like, this is crazy. So, y'all want to play in the GTD Fantasy Football League next season? It's something to participate in. It's always fun. It's always a blast. You win a championship ring and $300. So y'all rock with us next season if you want to get in the league. We about to get into bonus time, Kadeem?
Yep.
Y'all know what time it is. Stay positive, test negative. For Kadeem Simmons, I'm Charlie Touche. Thank you for tuning in this time. Make sure you catch us next time on Go Time. Already.
Gotta make them lose their mind when it's your time. And it's show time. Going all out when it's go time. I ain't wasting no time. Gotta make them lose their mind when it's show time. Cause it's your time. Lay it on the line when it's go time. Don't waste no time. Gotta make them lose their mind when it's your time. And it's show time. Going all out when it's go time. I ain't wasting no time.
Hold on. My bad. I just want to clear something up. I got to be fair to Steve. The trade that he offered me was Justin Fields and Jonathan Taylor for AJ Brown. I wanted Justin Fields, Jonathan Taylor, and Justin Jefferson. Justin Jefferson is hurt. He's not playing. I'm like, bro, you're not going to use him. You're not going to be in the playoffs, bro. You might as well trade him and try to get AJ Brown out the deal. And then that's where we got caught up. So I wanted to give all the particulars. I didn't want to make it look crazy, but my bad. Go ahead, bro.
No worries. Shout out to IMAX. Just said, Charlie, Mario flipped 5-star defensive tackle Justin Scott from OSU to the University of Miami. So it's a bit of University of Miami news.
Too bad Mario ain't gonna be there to coach him.
I was gonna say, I reckon this could be last
year. That's bro. That's not gonna save his job, bro. And I if I'm Kadeem, I would say I reckon that's why he did it. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, just come here and save my job, bro. But nah, they ain't gonna get it done. If it was a 5-star receiver that went to OSU, we might be talking about something. But what D lineman coming from OSU outside of Chase Young? Oh, Bosa was there.
IMAX said Mario Cristobal isn't going anywhere. So we'll see. Sorry. So Mike McDaniel on Thursday, we'll do the comment first. The Great Finn fan says, Charlie, you're not the only one that plays fantasy. That's highway robbery. Sounds like
I disagree. Justin Jefferson is hurt. He's not playing. So if you're a team that needs to win this week and you're not going to be able to use Justin Jefferson for 3 weeks, you might as well trade him. That's all I'm saying. Like, you need to win today. You don't need to win 3 weeks from now. Like, if you don't win today, you're out the playoffs. So I'm like, yo, you might as well throw Justin Jefferson in. And to be fair, I was throwing in Devon Achane. So it made sense. They're both not playing. We could swap it out. You get Achane, I get Jefferson, and then you offer me you offer me Jamar Chase and Justin Fields for AJ Brown. So I'm just saying. But yeah, obviously now he's activated. But my point is, he wouldn't have been available for at least 2 more weeks when we were making the trade. That was my point.
And then IMAX says 2 seasons isn't enough to rebuild a dumpster fire he inherited.
But all you gotta do is take a knee, though. All you gotta do is take that knee at the end of a game, and you have your job. That's all I'm saying.
It's crazy. So Mike McDaniel was asked about the Dolphins on 3rd and short. He said, we're trying to do stuff that works. Those are the facts as life stands right now, but you have to work at stuff. I'm not going to pretend every decision is good. Football is humbling. It starts with me. The Dolphins have run the ball 6 times on 3rd and 1. They've gained -8 yards and 2 first downs, all of which are dead last in the NFL. That is courtesy of our boy Marcel Luis. Is it Jaquez? I can't pronounce the guy. I'm so
Jock.
Jack. Apologies. He also says the Dolphins have attempted 8 passes on 3rd and 1 this season, third most in the NFL, gaining 37 yards and 2 first downs. The Dolphins aren't good on 3rd and short. It seems like it doesn't matter who is in, who's healthy, who all this kind of stuff. I'm not going to ask you why the Dolphins aren't good, because if you knew that, you wouldn't be sitting here with me right now. You would be in the NFL coaching this Dolphins team to execute.
I don't know that I would be, because I feel like I'm a better GM than some of these GMs, and I'm still sitting here.
But yeah, we spoke about, has the offense taken over, so the defense overtaking the offense, all that kind of stuff earlier. But do you think there is an issue on short yardage situation, or do you feel that the Dolphins are really in it and we're 8-3, so we're just nitpicking at stuff which doesn't seem to be affecting us right now?
I think we're just nitpicking, but it's fair to nitpick, and we should nitpick because we want to be the best. We don't want to just be, you know what I'm saying? We want to be great. And this is actually going to go into what I was going to bring up next, but I'll throw it back to you before I do. But yeah, we got to nitpick. We want to be great all around. We want to be good all around. So it's okay to nitpick, bro. Like, bro, we Dolphin fans haven't had a team like this in 40 years, 35 years, 40 years. Yeah, I had to go back. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't even know how to act. We don't know what we, you know what I'm saying? We're so jaded, bro, that people they don't know how to appreciate what they see. It's just like having a girlfriend that you probably have no business having, that you don't deserve, and you don't know how to treat her because you never had something so good. You know what I'm saying? And vice versa for the women. They say they want a good dude and a dude that does this, and this, and then they don't know how to keep him either. So it's same thing. You know what I'm saying? So this is not go time girlfriend and boyfriend, but it's go time Dolphins. But listen, you know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. But yeah, it's all right to nitpick. We want to be good all the way around. What you think?
I think it's something which I'm not the only one. It has been a problem. And it's something which, again, you want to fix before you get to the playoffs. Like, let's be honest, the games we've had over the past few weeks, and we're going to have over the next few weeks, is the perfect time that if you fall into 3rd and short, 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2, you're just run the ball. Like, you should be able to trust your team to pick up 1 to 2 yards. But Mostert is really good at, essentially breaking tackles and stuff like that. I can understand that this offensive line has had a lot of injuries, and it might not be getting a push that we kind of want. But I feel like we've become too predictable in 3rd and short, and I feel like I'm sitting there going, we're going to pass it. Within shotgun, we're going to pass it, and I feel like we're not even pretending to run anymore. It'll be like 3rd and 1, we've got empty. Why have we got empty for? Like, at the very, very, very least, at least pretend like you're going to run the ball. So I just think we're too predictable in 3rd and short. I think that starting with Washington on Sunday, Titans next week, and the paper planes the week after, we need to use those 3 games to, when in that situation, to pick up those yards, especially when, listen, the Dolphins are great in the red zone. We all know that. But sometimes when you're on like the goal line, it's 3rd and goal, 4th and goal. We need to be able to punch it in, even if you have to get Christian Wilkins involved. And I think I was saying during the paper planes game, and I'll end this here. I'll take my point here. I feel like because of Alec Ingold's hand injury he picked up earlier this season, we haven't really used him in like 3rd and goal situations and stuff like that. You have to bring Christian Wilkins or whoever, do it. I just think we're too predictable in 3rd and short, and it shows given those stats.
Baker Mayfield got hurt in a quarterback sneak. Just saying, that's why people don't want quarterback sneak their quarterbacks. Mahomes got hurt; they never snuck him again. Then we was talking about how many times over under QB sneaks for Tua, 1.5. You know what I'm saying, on the season. But listen, Tyreek Hill said this team is better than the Kansas City Chiefs team that he won the Super Bowl with. You buying it or you selling it?
I'm selling it. But I'm selling it right now. As in, listen, it's week 13. We haven't won anything yet. Even if
No, that's not. But what?
What do you mean? What? Like, it's that to me, it's no good being the better team if you don't win anything from it. So right now, in my opinion, the Chiefs team is better. They won Super Bowl. We might be more fun to watch, but I don't care about fun. I want to win a ring.
But it's buy or sell. So that means you're either buying it because you think we can win the ring and then actually be better than that team, or you're selling it because I don't think we're better than that team, so I'm gonna sell it. And then if we don't win, then you were right. So it's buy or sell. Are you buying that stock right now and buying low on it, or are you selling it because you think, I don't think we're better than that team, and in essence, we're not gonna win the Super Bowl?
I love what you did right there, because if I sell it, you can be like, "Oh, here we go. These gentlemen not win the Super Bowl." I see what you did. I'm not stupid. I was
just saying that's how it works.
Yeah. So I am going to defer. I'm not going to answer that question. I'm going to be boring. Listen, when it says Kadeem Simmons on this side of the screen, I'm allowed to defer. You aren't getting me on this one. You aren't getting me, so that when we're in Super Bowl, you'll be like, I told you, you sold. You can't celebrate with us. I'm not doing it. I'm sorry, I'm not doing it.
If you were wise, you would sell. And then luckily we win the Super Bowl. Now we can enjoy it. And you know what I'm saying? It'd be like, yeah, I was wrong. So what? We got a Super Bowl. Like that's a good win for you right there. It's a win-win.
That's what I would want to do, but I know how you are. You'll be like, see, I told you. Because I believe. I'm not letting you get me with that. Jason Keck says we were injured. He's back in a QB sneak last year. I don't remember that. Of all of Tua's injury, I do
remember that. I remember. I do remember that. And it was. I feel like it was this year. Was it last year? It was an awkward day, and they bent them back crazy looking. You sure that was last year? I thought that was this year.
Tua QB sneak injury. Very quick Google. Yeah, this was 25th September 2022. It was, we went 3-0. Tua says on the quarterback sneak, I kind of got my legs got caught under someone, and they were trying to push it back, and I felt like I had hyperextended my back or something. But it was 3-0. And
then we had the Buffalo game next week after that.
I feel like was this not? No, this was the Buffalo game.
Was it the Buffalo game? Because here's the thing. The thing is, I remember him complaining about his back, and it was a legitimate back injury. So when that hit happened, when everyone said he was concussed, it was still, it could, like, and I'm in no one's defense, it could have legitimately been a back injury because he had already complained about his back. So that's all I was saying. So it was last year. My bad. But I do remember that.
It was Buffalo.
So yeah,
and obviously we know what happened next against the Bengals. Jason Keck said they said it was a concussion and not a back injury. And then Jason also said about the Tyreek Hill thing. He is saying when he played with the Kansas City Chiefs before they won the Super Bowl, that this team is better than that team. He's not saying that the Dolphins are better than the after Super Bowl win Kansas City Chiefs. And I understand it.
The question is phrased the way the question is phrased. You buying the seller. That's all I'm saying.
I have nothing else to say on this. Anything else you want to add?
That's all we got, man. Shout us out on follow us on Patreon and get the extra credit, extra point.
I like that as well. The extra credit. I like that as well. We'll find something to do with the extra credit. So, but yeah, we shall see you on the next one. That being the Washington Commanders preview episode on Friday. And if you follow us on Patreon, subscribed, you will see us on the Extra Point very, very soon. But we shall see you on the next one. Peace.